broad statement like, yo, I got paid by Republic. You know, every single time you do a post that's political that you got paid for, you have to disclose
That's probably a good rule. That's probably a good rule because then you know that at least the audience gets to decipher whether it's authentic to who you are, what you believe, or these are somebody else's ideas and they're using it.
Is that not something to tell somebody? If somebody has given you a heads up before about some bullshit, is that not a reason to pick up the phone and give somebody a heads up?
Well, I think what you did was quite benevolent. I don't see why, but it doesn't seem clear that he's upset at you. Is he upset?
No, but it's Academics TV.
But you're
What's
saying
the connection between Academics and Academics TV?
That's his guy.
Does he own Academics TV?
He must.
Who?
Academics.
Oh, I don't know. I know. They say George is definitely is behind Academics TV. I told that.
Who told you that?
Not as cut and dry. Maybe it's not that cut and dry. We get to find out that they have to subpoena phone records, triangulate stuff, Hertz, all of these things to kind of really paint a good picture. What does that say? And that's where the feds came in. That said, this case wasn't just open and shut. What's the con? I'll tell you what the con is. The con with the case being filed at this time hints that possibly after being released on a halfway house home confinement situation, the feds were kind of either following or somewhat monitoring what's going on with Pooh Shiesty. Why do I say that? Well, if state police or local police, Dallas police, it does say Dallas police. So Dallas police, they came in, they got the fingerprint, they did whatever. They get tapped really quickly like, no, we're the feds, we're taking this over. We want the case. We got the case now. Interesting. So the fact that the feds got on the case that quickly, maybe they were waiting already for Pooh Shiesty to fuck up. They were waiting. So as soon as they catch him with a fuck up, they get at Dallas police. No, we got the case.
First opened in 1957.
Because
welcome inside what's still one of the great stadiums of the NFL.
He doesn't even live in
legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Home
so
of
like
the
if they have a kidnapping case or like pull the gun or somebody, they just walk right away. Why do a months-long investigation when the nigga don't live there the whole time?
And the Green Bay Packers.
It's not a well-reported crime. There is no murder. It's basically kidnapping and robbery. Yes, big deal. But no one is hurt.
From Green Bay. Here's Sky Moore now to return it.
People will get trouble.
Very good field position to start. The return is past the 40.
Clearly they're watching on the fucking GPS ankle monitor thing. I think they wanted to nab him on the next time, which was this. So I think they took the case over early. Okay, good. So that's the pros and cons of the date, right? So right now we're just at the date of the fire.
It's pretty.
There's some things that work
they come after him right away.
Things that don't. The first one,
on the first play of the game.
Looked like them showing up there the next day.
Michigan Wolverine
get the whole story.
In there to take him down.
Get the story to make it make sense.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss.
Essentially have to get a bunch of
understand when the pocket breaks down. Move
and
up,
the feds
cut your losses now.
But
not only do you lose that down,
the feds
now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Once the feds take over,
and that is incomplete.
Especially you got
Jennings was the intended target. Now it's going to be third down.
Okay, let's keep it going.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast.
Okay.
Tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey,
now this
all game long today, we better defend every blow to grab because we're coming out firing.
So they're saying that the defenders,
it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
This code of the U.S.
down, the Niners send out the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt.
Right?
As the drive went in the wrong direction, he's on to punt it away.
Conspiracy
and he'll get forward a few yards on the return. That's where the offense will take over.
We're going to look up the stats right now.
Yellow, 43.
18, USC.
Off the play fake. Here's Love.
12.
Oh, the ball's out. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
So,
and they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
Okay?
On second down.
And when, basically when he loses it, which is
and they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Okay, as person's willing to transport it.
Here's 1st and 10.
Person's, all right. So basically, it's just kind of like picking out what could be kidnapping. Technically, they're saying you can't kidnap your own child, right? Like, that's why they kind of mentioned the parent thing. So basically,
in motion,
once you confine someone,
now the first carry of the game for Josh Jacobs
in a situation,
and a very elusive run there. He winds up gaining about 9 yards.
Transportation of yourself.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under center run game, like we just saw here, with their under center play action game, and the ability to make those two things look alike. And it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
Do an overt act to affect the conspiracy. It should be imprisonment of any
Throwing
term
on second down,
for any term of years.
Right side,
so the conspiracy and most conspiracies
get him down after a gain of 5, but that is
usually has an open-ended sentence because
give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
And he's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming. And he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Well, let's start with the con. The con is clearly both of these charges, Pooch is facing life. He's a guy who just did 5 years.
Second down throw
for Love. He's clearly not
the catch is made. This is Tucker
criminal. He's someone who should be around a gun. He should be around members or gang members or other people with a gun. And he's pretty much violated everything and also spat in the United States.
Not much to speak of in terms of scoring in that first quarter of play.
By
nothing yet on the scoreboard.
That's bad.
And we're back at Lambeau Field in just a moment.
Here's the pro, I do think. Here's the pro. The pro is, at least in this criminal complaint, we don't know what's going to happen once. There's probably going to be an indictment, and we don't know if there will be a superseding, but there will probably be an indictment at some point. Indictment means a grand jury, which most felonies, in the land,
this opening drive,
they don't want an officer just sending you a trial.
Now, can they put the finishing touches on?
The charges were
it's first and goal
by the magistrate.
From the
usually
gun,
they like to have a grand jury
to the goal line and in.
Individuals
touchdown, Green Bay.
Appeal the decision of charging. So you can get a grand jury, and
now Love getting the Packers set for this 2-point try.
Dirk's trying to do it now, where they're saying procedurally they presented info they shouldn't have known. Usually you can't really say the grand jury who chose to indict you.
And he will take it in and tack on the 2 points to make it 8.
So now we're here. What's the pro? And I know you're saying, there's a fucking pro with this one. It can't be a pro.
Both teams ready to go once more.
I do think there's a pro
kicks
when
away.
At the charges. So in looking at the charges, I'll break down what I believe is a pro.
They'll return this from the 11.
As part of the score,
good return as he takes it across the 30.
One of the big things that they said is that not only was Gucci prevented from leaving, these guys
are 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10.
They're claiming the conspiracy. We're going to get to that because
throwing is Purdy.
But
gets this one into the hands of Juwan Jennings. He's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
Rings on his fingers, wedding band,
18 yards.
There was chains took, Rolexes taken, and other things of significant value. There is no charges that actually
first down throw for Purdy.
Okay?
Now, here down the field, ball incomplete. Ricky Pearsall, the intended receiver. And it'll be second down.
That charge too. They're not, the Fed's not saying, we already got him with a kidnapping, don't give him the robbery charge. You know, they're not like, you know,
Back to
giving
throw.
things away.
Purdy.
What
Open
probably
man is
happened,
Jennings.
and we're going to find out.
They're going to work this down inside the 45.
I have a suspicion.
That's 2 catches on this. This one for 10 yards and a first
Somehow,
down.
which maybe I'm not calling them good criminals. I think that this criminal complaint, and it might come later because the rain.
Again in the air for Purdy.
They couldn't have found none of this stuff. This was written up before.
Taken in by
So
Jennings.
this was written up the third.
And they bring him down,
So this
but not
complaint
until
was the
they
30.
get inside
They
the
get
30-yard
searched
line.
He hit it on the 33rd.
That's
on the
catch
first of
3 just on this drive. And it gets his team a first down.
The reason why they do it that way, they want to find the things that were stolen. Where's the Louis V backpack? Where's the watch? Where's the wedding band? Where's the fucking chain? Where's the Rolexes? That's what they need because
Throwing
it's
again
hard
is Purdy.
to
Over in a flash, and he lost the football.
Number one, how much proof you have of the items he's taken. Secondly, by those
To the
people.
20.
And third, if you've never seen it.
For most of these defensive linemen, Mike, they go the entire season and never touch the ball. So when they get their shot, they try to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what this big guy did here. Doesn't quite take it all the way for a touchdown, but he sets his offense up in a great spot.
He'll be taken down, but just like that, they are in business. It's first and goal.
There's like an enhancement for
The Niners will use the first of their timeouts. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down.
We talked about this with the Diddy case. Usually, in federal court, you need 2 situations for it to be legal, right? You need 2 crimes, like 2 first-degree felonies.
Out of the shotgun,
Kidnapping
it's Love.
and
He's got it at the 3.
would be 2
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
On this, which is good. Okay? For now. Now I do have to speak to
is Love. Look to the end zone, and it's broken up. Incomplete. There was no space, no separation that time.
I'm going to get to.
That's going to bring it to third and goal.
So, of all the people taken into custody, the first person that went to court was
Here's Love to throw.
Bushai's father.
And on third down,
And
that
in an
ball
interesting turn,
incomplete.
Bushai's father
And
gets
this
a ball.
passing game continues to come
Everyone's
up
talking
short
about
these
this
last couple
prison,
plays. That's
prison.
2 consecutive
They give
incompletions in a
Bushai's
row.
father a bond,
Now they're
and it's
staring
a
fourth down right in the
$250,000,
face.
and he gets to go home and be on house arrest. So he's
Interesting
going back to
decision.
the
A
crib.
field goal makes it a
Now,
2-score game.
It's probably
Keep
because
the
of
hammer
the
down and
purported
go for
role
it
that's
on 4th and goal.
outlined in
And this will pay off. It is
Judge feel that. If you don't know, he's got father seemingly did know. His
You know, Mike, I think we're going to see a lot of this. And you know why? It's the new kickoff rule. So think about it. In the old days, you'd kick a field goal, you'd kick a touchback, and your opponent would have the ball in the 20. You didn't give up as much field position, but you only got 3 points. Nowadays, you go for 3 points and you kick a touchback. They get the ball on the 35. It's almost 30 yards of field position. You're just better off going for touchdowns when you get in your time. Anytime you fail on a 2-point try, there's always going to be second guessing about whether that was the right play call.
So,
In this case, they decided to throw the ball, which I like. They just need better execution, and they end up coming up a little short.
Here comes a return from the 3.
Okay.
Oh, he's got through past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there.
That's the full court order on what they
Now a first and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Mr. Lontrell Williams Sr., a.k.a. Mob Boss.
Opening carry of the game for the versatile Christian McCaffrey. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard
So they
out of that
appear
one.
before
It's
Magistrate
second
Judge
down.
Annie T. Christoph.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points,
Greg
all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
Third, they need 8.
8 yards to go.
It's that. Play fake to McCaffrey. Now, Purdy. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
You know, Mike, drastically different things waiting for these two squads on the sideline as they run off. I mean, we can hear the defensive sideline celebrating all the way up here. I mean, back-to-back drives, they come away with the takeaway. Now,
and he will get into the end zone. Tucker, touchdown, Packer. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
This is very interesting.
And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one.
So this
2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to get your group an answer. Because right now, they don't have one.
Pushi's hurting in Texas. So
Still
they got
time. Final
Everybody
minute
else
of
is in
this
Memphis.
first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way.
So usually what happens,
This one, take it as a center. And he flies down right now.
Usually everybody gets a no ball. Right? Because
49ers. That is
number
their
one,
second.
Tennessee, right? That's what
Stop
Memphis is.
35 seconds to go in the second
They're
quarter.
getting told that in the
From
district
25,
where
they'll
Dallas
go to work.
resides, in
First and
Texas,
10.
has a case. And you usually say you can't get out
To
of jail
throw
now.
is
Go
Purdy.
to Dallas.
Oh, he's going to be followed up and taken down. They got him.
According to this.
Packers go ahead and use the first of their timeouts.
Okay, so
They'll stop it
Greg
just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in
this
this
guy
first
is
half.
a Memphis lawyer. So he works in
Purdy
Tennessee. He
now
works in
on
Memphis.
second down.
He appeared for the defense. The defendant in custody.
Timeout Green Bay. It'll be their second.
He waived.
They stop it with 28 seconds to go in this first half. The Niners will use their third and final
So the
timeout
witnesses were
as they stop
FBI
with
agents
28 seconds to go in this first half.
And also
Third and long. Here's Purdy.
the defendant.
He'll have one go.
So he
Downfield
had his
for
own.
Jennings.
So I guess it was like really
And that is incomplete.
He had a friend.
Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's fourth down.
Or yesterday. He had
The
his
offense just
child's
couldn't
mother.
seem to get anything
Yeah,
going
like
that
60
drive.
show
They
up.
knew they had a long way to go, taking over possession that deep in their own
they did
territory.
great, though.
You want to pick up that first down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the Eric throws brings up fourth down and they're going to have to punt it away.
So he's going to pay that
Again, working deep downfield. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on fourth and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away.
Grilled greens. Let's go now.
This is kind of like a
First down, it's Love. That's in the end zone and intercepted. That's
So
the
his father got
linebacker,
bombed.
Fred Warner. And the Niners force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 10.
That's the extradition here.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick.
Sent to
Mike,
Dallas.
that ball was thrown. Me and you are sitting here
But
saying,
if he
that's a
doesn't get
touchdown.
sent,
And
or that
instead,
hearing doesn't happen,
they force a
he'll be
turnover,
able to pay
and
his
now
bond.
their offense is back on the
They're
field.
going to send him to Dallas. So essentially, he has
Brought
gone
in.
from Tennessee.
A big
can't take
connection
it.
to flip the field.
gotta
as
go
they
for the
get
hearing. Is he gonna
across
get sent to
midfield on that one.
Dallas. He'll get sent. And then they're going to create a new bail
So
for him.
we are at halftime.
But
Greg and I will
it
be
is in
back
his
right
favor
after
that
this.
they already
It's the
gave him a
National
bail.
Football League.
So they already
On EA
offered him a
Sports.
bail in Tennessee. It is likely that he could get offered a bail again in Dallas, right? One judge already said he's qualified for a bail. So maybe he's having a detention hearing one day. He just got to stay in custody, go to Dallas, have it here and there, and at that point,
Now,
he'll
this is a surprise. Right out of the
He'll look
locker
for
room,
bail,
they'll
but they have
try
a
the
big
outside
leverage to say,
kick.
well,
The
Tennessee's
kickoff
gonna-
unit is out there.
Okay?
And
So
they'll send
that's
this
where
one
he
away.
is still in custody.
Pretty
So
bold
he's still in
call
custody.
right there.
However,
What you're looking for out of the
it's a
locker
big
room is
W
just a spark of
for
some sort. They thought they could get it
outlook
on
of
their
this
special
entire
teams. They
Pusha
don't.
situation.
Now they put their
Obviously,
defense
this
in a
might not
tough
affect
spot,
Pusha himself
trying to not
that
allow
much,
them to
but his
extend this
father
lead.
does have a bail, right? He has a bail. Can't take it up right now.
We'll get this one out to Jacobs.
Apparently he's in the custody of the U.S. Marshals,
And
and
he'll be
they're
out of
gonna,
bounds. Down
keep him
at
until
the
the end.
20. A gain there of
This is
21.
his father.
First down, Packers.
Mob boss.
So the rule of thumb,
is,
so often when you call these play action
Chase
passes,
Young.
Mike, is that the guy you fake it to He tends to be wide open more often than not. It's exactly the case here. Dump it off to the back in the flat. He does the rest.
And he will score again. Tucker Kraft. Touchdown, Packers. That is his third touchdown of the afternoon. And that is the hat trick. What a game. His third touchdown reception of this one.
And nothing they've done to slow him down has worked, Mike. This defense, they're throwing multiple guys at him. They're playing man, they're playing zone. It doesn't matter. This guy is having his way, and he's having a day.
All right, he puts the foul on line.
Love to throw. This is hot. He's got it. And they tack 2 more onto their lead.
I know it sounds like I'm being biased, Mike, but I'm really not. Down here this close to the end zone, especially on 2-point tries, the size, the length, the athleticism, and matchups these tight ends can create, man, they are a tough handle, and it leads to 2 points.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. The return starts from the 5. He'll come across the 20 and taken down at the 21-yard line.
Come on now, you know how we came out. You know how we came out right there.
To throw on first down is Purdy.
What you got going on?
Flush to his right. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. And it will be another turnover as this defense does it again.
That was a great play by the defense, Mike. He got a little sloppy with ball security as he leaves the pocket. They're able to knock it loose and put it into this drive.
We the richest ladies, man. Who you want to sign to?
Love to throw it on first down. A dive and a pass. Incredible. 14 yards on that pass play there. Good for a Green Bay first down. Now Love. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete. We'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Blue striker.
Back to the air, it's Love. That one, taken in. Jaden Reed. Touchdown, Green Bay. 2 touchdowns for him now in the afternoon. And he continues to remain on fire. That is a rare NFL day. 5 touchdown passes thrown.
And Mike, at this point, the defense just looks completely lost out there. I mean, they have no answers whatsoever, giving up the 5th touchdown pass of this drive.
And they will not let up. He is into the end zone for 2 more.
The more I watch this, the more I realize why this nigga said, yo,
Both teams ready to go once more.
Because in reality, if y'all don't know, my boss, which is...
Here comes a return from the 5. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start.
So it's like, yo, his daddy was that nigga, but Pooh Shiesty, that nigga. So they both on the same type of timing. This is gonna sound mad nigga. I ain't gonna lie, but I just gotta be honest.
1st and 10 for Purdy. He'll let one go. Downfield for Jennings.
But it kind of look cool if you and your pops kind of like, you know what I mean?
And he's gonna take this one all the way.
Like him and his pops is kind of
72 yards. Touchdown, San Francisco. Well, that is a quick drive and the best way to finish it. The touchdown pass downfield. Greg, you rarely see a deep shot like that to start a drive.
You're right, Mike. We don't see it a lot, but I wish we did. It's actually the most efficient and safest down.
That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Pick up by Evan Williams.
decision to go for 2 was made up from the very beginning. The moment they scored, you could see the head coach. He's signaling, we're going for 2. The touchdown was obviously a disappointing outcome defensively, but to able to get that stop, they can at least come off the field and catch their breath.
And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Oh, God, my little pocket.
Yo, I see why, like, the more you watch about Pooh Shiesty, you kind of see why, like, he thinks the way he thinks. Like, his father kind of like him.
I keep my pocket. This all I got. I ain't showing them.
Come on,
Love to throw on 1st and 10. Look at that. Slinging across his body and connected. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. A pickup there of 28 yards.
One of the things that makes him one of the best receivers in the NFL, Mike, is his ability to create separation downfield. He makes it so easy for his quarterback to not only find him, but to constantly create a nice throwing window like he did right there.
The way I didn't describe in this case,
And they'll finally run him down, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
From Tennessee.
They'll have a 1st down. It's a gain of 28.
When he gets arrested on the 1st,
The Niners
he gets his
use the
hearing
first
on
of
the
their
3rd.
timeouts.
They bring in
And they'll
6
get a
people,
chance to
including
catch
his
their
baby
breath
mama. They
over
all
on the
testify.
sideline.
They kind of break down and complain a little bit to say, come on, like, what did the father do? That judge gives a bond.
On the
He can't take
move
the
at
bond
the
yet because there's
14-yard line, it's
still
1st
detention
and
order
10.
they can't override
Ready.
until they go through it, which is going to be a Monday.
Yellow.
They're going to send him to Miami.
From
but
the gun,
at
it's
least he's
Love.
given a $250,000.
And he's into the end zone yet again.
In this case,
Jaden Reed, touchdown, Green Bay.
So
That is his 3rd touchdown of the
here's another
afternoon.
thing.
So add another touchdown and touchdown pass for that matter. He has thrown 6 already in this one. Amazing stuff. That's gonna be caught. So add a couple more points, and they add to their lead.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success, throw it up to him, let him do the rest.
Prosecutor stated that the label involved is 1017, which is Gucci Mane's
Return this from the 10.
his real name, by the way, Roger Davis. They believe the group
And
also
he's down
involved
at
in assaulting
the
2 other
23, and that's where the
defense
offense
attorneys for at least
will
4
take
other
over.
defendants have argued that the evidence does not implicate their actual clients. At the federal kidnapping and assault case.
Okay, all right. Now,
On
we're getting
1st
to
and 10, it's Purdy.
once again, guys,
Downfield, he's got 4.
there does exist some
Past the
surveillance.
40.
Now, this is going to be the
Inside the
interesting
20.
influence.
And
this is why I
they're
know
not going to catch up to him.
exactly
He
when it
will
comes to things like this.
score.
You guys are going to
77
get
yards.
the best breakdown possible.
Touchdown, San Francisco.
So they have some CCTV video here, right? They
Purdy
also
and the
have
49ers
some,
will try to get
some
2 more.
pictures of the studio.
But
But we get to realize that this FBI agent
now
that
they'll set up to
did
run.
this investigation
That's pulled in.
failed.
And they're
AJ
able to
Mays
tack
is
on
overwhelmed.
a 2-point
I'll tell
conversion.
you why.
Mike, I think all of us
Because
can
we saw
remember
pictures
exactly
like
where we
this,
were during a
walking
certain
out the
Super
hallway
Bowl
that
where
leads
throwing the
outside.
ball this close
And
to
we
the goal
saw
line
pictures
ended
of
up being
the
a disaster.
inside of the studio.
But unlike that
Though
time,
we
they
saw
ran this
nobody
pass
in
play to
those pictures,
perfection, and
we
the
thought,
result,
oh,
2
there was
points.
mad cameras. They got everything
A
on.
return now from the 4.
We found out today
And the
Today,
kicking team right
that
there,
apparently
stopping him before
when
he can get to
tested
the
about some of the
15-yard
evidence they
line.
claim to have, the government actually claimed they don't got nothing on camera. No cap. They actually just said they got nothing on camera. They actually admitted that they don't have concrete evidence that puts these guys dead to right doing this, and it's going to bring up the most important thing. So keep in mind, I want to walk you guys through this whole thing again. Shiesty and them, right?
Green Jack,
And
yellow,
I think I forgot to
43.
play this. But the feds at the
First
time,
and 10, here's Love.
we've done our own independent timeline as well. What we
Chances on
found
that
out
one.
is
It was bouncing
if you guys
around,
don't know,
but it falls
at
incomplete.
around noon / 1
Trying
o'clock
to
in
connect with
Memphis,
Romeo Dobbs
not
that
Memphis,
time.
sorry, in Dallas,
And it'll lead to a
Pooh
second
Shiesty
down.
posted this video seemingly responding to WAC 100. WAC 100 was on Clubhouse. He appeared on my program and a few other programs, and he's been saying for a couple of,
Here's Love.
I feel like months, Pooh Shiesty,
That complete
Shiesty,
to Jacobs. And they're going to get him down right at the 25.
And
11
he said
yards
that,
on the connection there.
pointing out that there's a profit.
This is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. You look out there and you have a mismatch.
In that conversation,
or a safety on your running back. He's expected to win. That's exactly what he did here.
He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
So I would say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't mean you're snitching. But in the streets, no, you're not supposed to say nothing to the cops, even don't even say your name. So in the streets, it's like snitching.
They go as we are through
Do I think
three.
Pooh Shiesty's
Back with more after the break.
Do I think
You're tuned in to the NFL.
No.
On
Why?
EA
If we look at the case he was incarcerated for 5 years for, he was incarcerated for a case where they go buy
couple of first downs to start this drive.
like some
They're
sneakers and
first and 10,
some weed or
up
whatever
at
the
the
case
42.
is. And basically, they ended up shooting some guys. Okay? Now, the victims cooperated that got
Right side, catch made by Dobbs. And he's close to another first
What
down.
Pooh Shiesty
Brought
and his
down
co-defendants
just shy of the marker.
all in sight. They were all in line doing it.
From just across the midfield stripe.
They basically said,
Here's
"All
second
right,
down.
we'll take the plea. We'll take the plea and say we did do that.
This
What
is
our
Jacobs.
thing is that
And he's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he'll have just enough to keep
that's
the
why
chains loose.
so they were trying to make.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run.
Now,
Third and
the
short,
streets are really
fourth
stupid,
and short.
right?
The
And
ability
this is why
to
I
just
ain't gonna
keep
lie
it
to you. I think
simple, win up front, turn
this is why I
around,
think
hand
Wack
the
is
ball
one
to
of
your
the most
back,
powerful people, too.
and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a
I
fresh
think
set of downs,
Wack has a way
maintain
to put
possession,
niggas in a
and
position
now
that
continue to
their only
find
option is to
opportunities
die.
to go generate
And we'll
points.
say real nigga. You know
Let's
what I
stay
mean?
on the ground with Jacobs. Not much happening there. Just a short
That's
game.
what Wack got into a back and forth with Bradford Cohen. It was about this idea of did Pooh Shiesty snitch? Now, some people said, wait, how could he snitch if he's doing time?
From the 46.
All of his co-defendants
Here's
all agreed
second
to the
and
same
9.
story as him. They're all cool. No one is saying he snitched. But Wack was saying, well, you told because you shouldn't have a problem with the government. And
That's
in
going to
the
be
proffer,
incomplete.
which
Coverage
Wack
very
did
good
send
there.
over.
Contact jarring
And
the
this
ball
is an actual
loose.
problem.
And it's going to force
Pooh
third
Shiesty
down.
All things
basically
considered, it's
certainly
actually
in
a
the
pretty
problem
good pass. I mean, he puts the
based
ball
on
in a place
all the
where
events that
only
happened,
his guy can catch it.
It basically said, yo,
But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender,
or they had
and
guns.
he's not able to secure the catch
The
through
guys
contact.
who they're saying that guns because they're trying to say self-defense, they never got
over
caught.
the middle.
Now, I always said this about
Intercepted.
Black stealing on this.
The linebacker.
This is why I said a street nigga has to die.
Even though that
because if
interception, it
someone
probably won't
runs up
have
to your
much of an
house,
impact on the
right? Your
outcome of
runs
the
up to your
game.
house.
At least defensively, it gives them something positive to build off of. Because up until that point, this game's been a struggle.
When the cops come, you can't tell the cops, hey, he pulled out his gun, so I shot him. You gotta say, figure it out. To me, that's stupid. If it
Going
takes
on
that
first down
level of
is
stupidity,
Purdy.
this street nigga,
He'll push it downfield.
That's how
This one for Kittle.
like kind of
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game. Like, we just don't see him struggle
I
to
think
come
in
down with
Wack's
catches like
code,
that all
self-defense
too
doesn't
often.
exist.
And when
So
you're one of the
telling
go-to
the
guys
cops
on your team,
that
I know
you
the
did a
hit's
crime,
coming, but
or
guess
you
what?
did a crime with your
Down
friends
the field and
because
intercepted.
you felt you were
Picked off
defending
by
yourself
Keyshawn
is
Nixon.
actually telling. So that's what that was about. Wack went up against what do you call it again? My man Bradford Cohen. And then Pooh Shiesty came afterwards because the conversation became cyclical. He posted papers.
And tell you, like
So
I said
let's look,
before,
Wack
look,
100
I'm going to
versus
take the ball
Bradford
from
Cohen.
you, right? And I
And
did
we've
it.
had Bradford Cohen on here.
And I did it, right?
I really like Bradford Cohen.
And
That's
I
my
did it, right? It wasn't you, bro.
Here we go.
Ready.
Come on, bro.
33.
No, it's not for you.
Six. Ready.
Out of the shotgun. It's Love. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's second down. Chrisnyc1 the intended receiver.
Nice.
And that will lead to a second down.
Couple of
Drill green.
By the
we
way,
go.
shout out to Drill. Drill came up with his name by himself.
45.
I feel like I should have came up with his name. They're calling Whack Patel.
Mega.
You know how they got Cash Patel, the FBI director? They said
To
Whack
throw
Patel.
is Love.
That's good.
The open man is Reed. He's got it.
FBI director. Okay.
And he gets him 6 yards closer before going out of bounds. It's third down coming up.
I don't know if I can find it. He posts a lot, so I'm just going to...
It's the tight end Kraft in motion.
Can I find it? All right, let me just look at Pusha. People might not know this.
The first down. That is not officially going to end the game, but they're going to be able to take the clock way down after that play.
The defensive line has to do a better job of contain rushing, especially on third down. Like, you can't rush one-on-one. You have to rush as a unit. Keep the quarterback in the pocket. When you let him get loose, this is what's going to happen.
This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up second down. Tucker Kraft was the intended receiver there. It's second down.
And the evidence, we found not only did he own a gun, he had a firearm box in the trunk with ammunition in the trunk. Both of these alleged victims were
throw is Love.
full of shit.
He's a short one caught by Kraft.
Instead of getting
And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
Not because
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
By you claiming the victims have guns, you told
14 on that one. Good for a Green Bay first down.
Them saying that the dudes had guns is them trying to have a defense of why they're shooting. Oh no, we're defending ourselves.
95.
So basically, as a street dude, you can't say you're doing self-defense. You gotta just say
To throw
figure
is
it out.
Love.
Look,
Left side, he finds Kraft.
Is the reason
They'll come up on a second down and 8.
and you say you didn't cooperate,
ready.
and you calling me a boy.
Now Love. That is probably at the 10. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line. It picks up 25 yards and gives them a golden opportunity. It's first and goal. Packers go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds remaining on the clock.
DJ Academics is saying what a moron.
From the 1-yard line,
It is
first down
next
and
level
goal.
how stupid he is. Now, if we're saying he's just doing it for
Here's
clout,
Love.
we're saying he's just doing it for views.
And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play.
So, long story short is, Pushisti.
So that will tie the NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. First done by Sid Luckman with the Bears in 1943. And then Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 1954. We've waited a long time.
That's still
Now they have
you
company.
know what Whack really sinks his teeth in.
And that is incomplete.
Shit starts getting
2-point
more.
conversion.
So now
Winds up
it's
being
just not going away. This
unsuccessful.
Shiesty thing, and I'm not gonna lie. One of the few times I've spoken to Shiesty, I remember when he was locked up.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they clear
really
the way.
does care about his street reputation. I remember I
He'll
did
grab
speak
it
to him
at
a
the
couple
12.
times while he was locked up, and his
He'll be
whole
taken
thing
down
was
right at the
he
29-yard
died
line.
before this slaughter.
Timeout 49. That is their second.
Like,
Clock stops.
basically,
18
what he told me was
seconds remaining.
Yo, I did what I did, and I'm taking my time, and I'm holding my head high. I don't want nobody to say nothing about it. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it felt like he was almost like really. He was looking at the
He'll
future.
throw on first down.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to
He'll let one go. Downfield for Jennings.
He was looking at like, You ever watch The Wire? My name is my name. He was
with a short field and a chance
he gets
to
out.
extend their lead.
White goes back and forth with his lawyer, but it's still a little question. And he gets on live and he does this on January 10th at 1 o'clock. 1 p.m.
Bro.
2 hours before they get to the spot to rob Gucci, he does this.
Supersede indictment, man. This the indictment out the original indictment. So we got indicted twice, nigga. So they smacked us with more charges, nigga. Thinking that shit would break us or make us, nigga. Conspiracy to possess firearms and further the drug trafficking, violent crimes, nigga. 3 other sided niggas you will ever see, nigga. Name on a piece of paperwork, nigga. Bankroll, D-roll, nigga. These niggas solid, nigga. These niggas solid, nigga. We kept it G. We traumatized about this shit, my nigga. For real, nigga, I really went through it. Nigga, you nigga better watch y'all mouth when y'all say a nigga name, cuz I was facing 20 plus or 20 plus another 20 plus life, nigga. Never told it, never folded, nigga. All my shit add up, nigga. Yeah, nigga, every page add up. You see 1 through 10 on anything. Stop playing with a nigga name, nigga made, nigga, for real. You niggas don't know the half of this shit or what's really going on, nigga. Yeah, my paperwork 4,000 pages long. I go all day with this shit. You niggas don't know what really going on. You know what you see on the internet, you content creating ass niggas. Supersede indictment, man. This the indictment out the original indictment. So
okay. And if you're wondering about the timing of that, if you look at this, it says Pooh Shiesty goes off. I posted it around the same time he did, January 10th. Okay? So he basically left, and maybe this gives a sense of his mindset. He's already a little bit pissed off that people online is talking shit about him. You get what I'm saying? But he goes from, maybe he was at his apartment, then maybe he goes to the studio. All right? All good. Now, let's get to this. And this is the latest update with the case. Let's get into it.
Ron, thank you. Now to a new development tonight in the arrest of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. He and 8 others are charged with kidnapping rapper Gucci Mane. Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., and another Memphis rapper known as Big 30 appeared in federal court today. Action News 5's Caitlin Miller was in the courtroom in downtown Memphis. So Caitlin, fill us in. What happened today?
Yeah, Joyce, so they're actually still in there, but what I can tell you is that a special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took the stand, and defense attorneys for Lontrell Williams Sr., Pooh Shiesty's father, and Rodney Wright Jr., also known as rapper Big 30, asked Hobbs a key question. Is there any hard evidence, like video surveillance, showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone? And Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested. But even so, the judge ruled there is still probable cause.
Okay. What did you just hear? So in the court testimony yesterday that established bond for, and this is why there is bond for the father, the government has now said they don't have video of these guys having a weapon. There's no video of these guys supposedly forcing anyone at gunpoint to do anything. Now remember, there's this thought that Big 30 had recorded it. That might have just been a narrative said by one of the people who cooperated. But do they have the video? They haven't said yes yet. Now, granted, they probably just seized phones, right? Because, you know, Big 30 hasn't been arrested yet. He wasn't arrested until like yesterday. Who knows if he still has the video on his phone, right? Does he have it still in the iCloud, right? So they're looking for that video. We're now getting told there's no video in the booth. There's no video in the studio. So there's 2 places there's no video at, which is going to be what is necessary to make this case. Also, there's no video of that shows them having a gun walking out. So every time they're walking out, yes, I will say it goes, and that's what I'm saying. It's more supporting a robbery than a kidnapping, because supposedly when they're leaving, they could see the Louis backpack on the guys. Like, so the Louis backpack taken from the camera, they could see it on the guys who took it. Also, there was an air tag in the back. They could follow that and see that it was tracked along with the car leaving. But the big issue here is, what evidence do you have that these guys held Gucci at gunpoint against his will, which is kidnapping? What evidence other than, oh, these guys went there and they left and they took a Greyhound, maybe not a plane, that you feel is now a conspiracy, right? That everybody agreed that this is what we're gonna do. Like, how do you know someone agreed? Now, the point here is this. Either the government was overzealous and they're really relying on, and this is where the last part comes in, the cooperants, because essentially there's 3 people that gave statements, and CW, who is the cop. Now, I keep hearing about the cop. Let's talk about the cop right now. Everybody who keeps saying, oh, Gucci didn't say nothing, Gucci didn't say nothing. Yo, you don't got to say nothing. The cop is with him. You guys didn't read the indictment. Or not the indictment. You didn't read the complaint. We went over the complaint here. The cop cannot be an eyewitness for things that he said he was not in the room for. Let's say that again. The cop cannot be an eyewitness for things he says he was not in the room for. The cop said he was in the lobby with TD, another security guard. The only time and the only actual eyewitness the cop has is the cop when they are pushing into the door and they look in. He says he has his gun drawn and he looks in and he sees other guns. So the cop actually saying there were guns, that's gonna weigh somewhat. However, is it enough that a guy who basically never went in the room, wasn't in the room present for all the conversations, doesn't know how things happen, he was in the lobby, is his opinion good for a conspiracy of kidnapping charge? And a kidnapping charge for 9 people? So for the people who say Gucci didn't tell, this case, if I want to be honest with you, is only made by him telling. Now, I'm not saying Gucci's cooperating, because I don't think Gucci's going to cooperate. And I'm jumping ahead here. I think now it's hit the press, everybody's saying A, B, and C about Gucci. Listen, Gucci's career as we would know it and the thought and the memory of his legacy will be completely tarnished. I don't think Gucci's going forward this year. They can't force him. He's a victim. They can't force him. So, but I do think Gucci's name had to be on the complaint to make this a thing. It had to. The cop claimed I was not in the room. So you need witnesses who were in the room. You need the victims. Gucci was one of the victims. So his name is on the paperwork. Now, is there a body? I'm not going to get into, oh no, we got to see a video of him. Hey, Gucci's name and Gucci's statement was needed to get these guys arrested. What a grand jury is going to do, a grand jury might say, hey, listen, they might say to the prosecutor, hey, could you bring the victim in here? Now, is Gucci going to cooperate? Now, again, all of this is cooperating to some extent, right? But will Gucci continue now that he's getting severe backlash? Will he continue? Will he continue, y'all? Because if he continues, he might have to go testify to grand jury. That might say, hey, listen, you know, we want to know what happened. Because were y'all just having a heated argument? Did you say, hey, I want to leave? Did you show intent you wanted to leave? Did someone hold you? Did they tell you to get down? Did the dude really block the door, or he's just fat as fuck and he was standing near the door? So that's part of the indictment process for a grand jury. You might want to talk to the victim. Hey, come on in here. That we could ask you some questions. Is Gucci going to do that? I think not. I think not. So if you ask me what's going to happen, this is going to go down like the Young Thug statement in the back of the car. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. However, usually, you know, what people universally see as snitching is being on the stand, and these type of things get forgotten. So I kind of have a thought like this. This is my thought. If the cop, who was an off-duty cop, cannot provide subsequent info to guarantee that this happened, and none of the victims end up cooperating, they beat this case. This case ain't going nowhere. They don't have anything. They don't have it on video. from what we're hearing so far, they didn't find any of the items stolen. All they have is initial statements from Gucci to Dallas police. So I guess, I guess the off-duty cop probably called. I don't know if it's an off-duty cop from Dallas, but he called his buddies. They came through. They're probably talking. I'm not sure if they're like, Gucci, write a statement. Maybe they're just talking to Gucci, and Gucci's telling them like, nah, Shiesty that did that, whatever. And maybe they just write it up as that, right? I'm kind of giving them a little out, but I am going to be shocked if Gucci takes his stand. I don't think Gucci's saying. I think this is going to get thrown out. I know everybody's saying he's stupid, but I think hip-hop has done the hip-hop stuff already. There's so much pressure and so much shaming on Gucci today. His whole legacy is in shambles. That I don't see Gucci taking a stand. There's nothing that he serves to gain. Gucci's not being charged with a crime. He's not being indicted. Why would he, again, you could say Pooh Shiesty's stupid, but there's no incentive for him to actually cooperate with police to get Pooh Shiesty locked up. Number one, let's put it in perspective. Pooh Shiesty got record amount of streams today. You know who's benefiting from it? Gucci, man. Gucci's gonna make money off his catalog. He's not out the contract. Gucci could just sit like how Thug doesn't like Gunna, and Thug is making money hand over fist over Gunna. Gucci's gonna do that. All right, go ahead. Yeah, we'll kind of do it like that. We'll work with the label. We'll act like you're not in 1017 no more, but I'm getting a fucking check off of that shit. I'm a pimp you, legally. I'm a really pimp you. I'm gonna play hardball through the label. Or, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna have the label try to restructure it, give Gucci a bigger portion of it, and they take a lesser portion, but at least they're getting, trust me, it's the same thing happened with Thug and Gunna. But for the people who are thinking, oh, they're just all going to jail, I was surprised that in a detention hearing that they did have to establish some probable cause, because it's a complaint. It's a complaint, not an indictment. The prosecutors literally admitted, oh, we don't got this shit on video. Oh, we don't got them walking out with guns. Oh, we don't got no videos of them with the guns. Huh? It now makes sense. It makes sense why it took them. It makes sense why it took them 2-3 months to actually get the indictment. Because they had to go back and, oh, let's go to the cell phone company and triangulate and figure out if they, okay, let's prove that they were in the area. Nigga, it's 4K video right here, motherfucker. We don't gotta prove you were nothing. Right here, nigga. This is you. You got a pimple on your face. Right here. You with the acne. The big nose bitch over there. None of that. So that's why they had to do all the extra shit. Oh yeah, we're tracking his ankle monitor. We're tracking this. The AirTag brought us over here, and I'm like, that's good. But usually when you getting all of that, you don't got him too dead to rights. That's the problem. So I think today was a win for, or yesterday was a win for Shiesty and them. What's gonna happen is that Shiesty, if he's smart, he's gonna deploy all his lawyers. I see a few of the guys who got locked up. They got what do you call it again? They got public defenders. Shiesty needs to sub out all those public defenders immediately. Get a lawyer that's gonna listen to your lawyer. Everybody needs to shut their fucking mouth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is gonna sound scary. Based on what the cops say, if I'm Shiesty, I'm gonna roll a dice and say, remember I said yesterday or 2 days ago that it was gonna end the plea. I roll the dice and say, if we're going down, Gucci man gotta get up there and look us all in our face and point at us and all calls a snitch. And I don't think that's happening. We're gonna roll that dice. We just need the guys to shut the fuck up. We ain't saying shit. Everybody gonna say that the cop, cool. The cop didn't see the whole thing. It's in the complaint that he got texted after basically they're shouting at Gucci in the booth, yo, it's getting tense in here. And they still didn't come immediately. When they finally came, it's barricaded. So the cop, all he could say is what he heard, what he thinks. They push the door and they see for a little bit, they see some guns. They said, never mind. I think Pooh Shiesty got a good chance. If hip hop is gonna shame Gucci into suicide. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, it's even if Gucci was mad at the moment and he probably said to the cop, man, I can't believe them niggas did that to me, man. That's a bitch ass nigga shiesty. Man, it was shiesty, Pooh shiesty. So, I don't care how much medication he's on. He's going to kind of look around and say, it's not about right and wrong, Chess. It's about what you could prove in this situation. I'm not getting up on that motherfucking stand. No, sirree. And if Gucci don't get up on that stand, I think that shiesty ain't going nowhere. Honestly. Keep in mind, when you're proving this kidnapping, there's so many things that have to be established. Like, it has to be a story that gets told pretty much while proving the crime for the prosecutors. What's the motive? What's the backstory? Yo, did shiesty call you before and be like, yo, bro, yo, nigga, if when you come here and we meet and you don't do this, I'm gonna do that. Has he threatened you before? If Gucci does not help with the narrative of what they need, this shit falls apart. It's like having a case without a Cassie. It's having a case without a Daphne Joy. You need the person there. Now, granted, we're going to look at the white cameraman. No disrespect to white people, but, I can imagine, the funniest part of the indictment was when the white cameraman said, after they done robbed him, and they're all leaving now, the white cameraman said to shiesty and his hooligans, you really gonna take my watches, bro? Bruh, the robbery's done. It's like he expected them to say, I was just joking around. Come get this shit, man. Here you go, man. Take this fucking bum-ass watch. No, just take that watch, bro. Just take that watch, bro. No. So, I think he might be the person. He might be the person. Now, keep in mind, when Dallas police showed up, he allowed them to take pictures of his hand, back of his neck. There's no pictures currently in the indictment of Gucci or DP. Right? Is it DP or BP? BP. That's what they put in. BP. I think that was it. It's it's initials. There's no pictures of them. I think this case is way far from being over. Obviously, we all reacted to it because it is stupid to get this type of roadblock or this type of speed bump while you're on a generational run. It's just behavior that you would associate with an imbecile. But I'm realizing there's a lot more that we gotta evaluate. Gucci has not spoken about the robbery prior to the arrest. He never officially responded when there was rumors that he got robbed. And he has not responded since the arrest. I look at it from what's the path of least resistance and what is the path that is more beneficial for Gucci Mane. And I believe him not cooperating, I think people will forget that maybe he recognized it initially. It's like Thug. Like, that cop ain't making up that Thug told him about a murder in the back. They didn't make it up. What cop is just making it shit up? But that seems informal. When a nigga got to put their own hand writing on a paper, that seems real. When a nigga got to take the stand with everybody looking at them and the fucking microphones in front of them, and they say, all right, now sit up now. Do you see him in the court? Could you please point at him and you're handcuffed and you gotta go like this? Yeah. So I think Gucci will have a chance to walk it back. And if you ask me, I'm anticipating him walking it back. Now, this is where it's gonna be interesting, because walking it back is gonna be, he could come out and say, yo, I ain't never tell the cops nothing, they're lying. Now, that's gonna blow up the whole case. Like, if he comes out and says it. If he comes out and says, I never told him nothing, they're lying. Blowing up the whole case. I do think maybe he's in a slightly interesting position because the off-duty cop that he hired, and I will say this is a warning for all y'all gangster rappers who hire off-duty cops. If an off-duty cop is working and moonlighting as a security guard for you and they see a crime, they are obligated to report it. If they don't report it, they could lose their job. So now, if a situation like that happens, especially, I'm pretty sure the cop was thinking, and apparently the cop was the person who reported. Especially he had to draw his gun. He probably thought he had to use his gun maybe at a point. That didn't happen. They fell back, and he just had to allow them to leave. He sees injuries. If he doesn't report that, he probably could lose his he probably could get in trouble or even arrested. So he reports the crime, and I'm pretty sure he's looking at it at a situation where he's like, yo, I get it, you're a gangster and everything. But bro, that's what I'm saying about gangster rappers. Don't hire a off-duty cop if you want to keep it in the streets. This idea, and I hear so many people in rap with this keep it in the streets. You hire a cop, you're going to be keeping it in the paperwork, man. You're going to be keeping it in the police report. Yeah, that's where we keep it, the police report. We're keeping it in the police report. We're keeping it in the investigation file. We're keeping it in the case file. That's it. So I do want to say I felt it was slightly idiotic. And I don't know, we don't know what Gucci Mane's demeanor is to being involved in this, and people, calling him, I don't know if we should say out of his name, because if you did it, that's not out of your name, that's who you are, right? But out of your name, obviously I see we had Rollo on here. Rollo doesn't really want to, like, yo, Gucci snitched? Everybody's like, I've been asking. I sent out an Atlanta group text. Hey, Atlanta, hey, is Gucci a rat? Niggas is like, yo, who you got for the Final Four, bruh? Nobody want to talk about it. And I understand. I do. I understand. But at the end of the day, either cooperated. I'm actually like, I love Gucci. By the way, I'm gonna listen to Gucci music no matter what. I don't care what people say. But I want to put out a warning for a lot of these. Let me tell you this: 8 out of 10 gangster rappers move around with off-duty police. I remember when I got into it with me and Meek Mill. Meek Mill got mad at me for posting him in Philly when he went to a hood event and some shit happened, and they like pushed him to the backyard. And it was 4 off-duty police surrounding that nigga like he was the Pope, nigga, with their guns drawn in the hood. And I said, oh, shit, that's Meek. Those are off-duty police. He got mad at me for that. He did. He got mad at me for that. Respectful. And, it was interesting because he's like, he told me one thing. He said, well, later on he told me one thing, but this is what his team told me. It was like, yo, bro, he's on probation. He can't be having situations where guns are pulled. And I'm like, he's with the police. Like the police. It's not like some other. It's the police. But I had a sneaky suspicion that was a narrative he didn't like. You have the guys who say they kill people that hire the police officers to escort them to the hoods. Like that's what happened. So Gucci's rolling with police. It's funny because when you listen to hip hop, they're like, yo, 6ix9ine police, man. But you're being protected by police. So I do want to put this in the air. And whether or not Gucci's going to be considered a cooperative or a rat or whatever people might say, I love Gucci no matter what. That's not something that I think about. I think people who cooperate make the best music. I don't give a fuck. But to the people who do care, I want to send this out there. If you're a gangster rapper, you shouldn't hire police if you're so allergic to rats and police. Because the first time somebody do something to you, they're going to go to jail, right? 6ix9ine and his boss, Elliot Grange, was rolling with police. The first time some gangster shit happened, Shotty and them went to jail. So the idea, I don't think rappers should be able to play both sides. So either and let me kind of fix up and like make it succinct. If they claim Gucci snitch, maybe he did. This idea that, oh, he hired a cop, nigga, that should be called snitching. Because you're hiring the person who got to report the crime. So think about this. You can't get away with, nah, I ain't had to tell. I had the cop with me. He told. Bro, you basically told. If you're a street dude, don't hire the guy who is going to tell. If you're trying to keep it in the streets. But the reality is nobody's keeping it in the streets. Pooh Shiesty just forgot the memo. I thought Javon taught him, and I thought Dirk told him. This idea of keeping it in the streets, we're gonna keep it at the precinct. It doesn't exist. Every one of your favorite gangster rappers, except the few that, you know, they're either not here or like one of the few exceptions. It's like niggas like Pooh Shiesty. That, and I'm talking about big rappers. Some of these guys can't afford it. I gotta be honest, some of you guys can afford it. So I'm not saying they're real, just that they can't afford it. But if you got like an A-level rapper and they're rolling around, they probably are rolling around with police. You know why? Let me tell you. Unfortunately, I love security. You know me, I hire security everywhere I go. But most security guards, they don't have their license to carry everywhere. They don't have proper credentials to move how they need to move. Also, when they're moving around certain shit, because they're security and not law enforcement, they're just seen as a guy with muscles. When you have off-duty police with you, I said this one before. I'll give probably the same story I've told 2,000 times. At the NBA YoungBoy concert, it is crazy back there. Whatever. The police is out there. They're 400 deep. 400 deep. This is in what do you call it again? Was this New Orleans? Yeah. It is so crazy. Aiden Ross landed. And he landed at the private airport. And he had 6 off-duty. Was it New Orleans? Yeah. Off-duty New Orleans. Was it New Orleans? I think it was. New Orleans police officers with him. In the back, everybody and their mama can't get in. Everybody. I'm gonna be honest with you. The difference between security and police. Man, them police with Aiden walk right through the shit with a gun on the hip, nigga, in the arena. Your bodyguard ain't doing that. Your bodyguard getting patted down, like, take your shoes off, TSA shit. The cops, nigga, they had their badge right here or right here, gun on their shit, and it's clear that they work in private security but they're letting you know who they are. So the other cops are like, oh, go ahead, I know you, go ahead. Yeah, nigga's off-duty cop. So in reality, everybody uses cops. But all I'm trying to say is we can't spare Gucci Man with the cop thing. The moment you hire the cop, you acknowledge that the telling's gonna happen. Nigga, if I hired a cop, I would only hire a cop to make sure that if you die, it's legal. I want a legal death that we could celebrate. If you do something, the cop calls the battalion. Hey, yo, everybody come from the precinct. These pussy niggas trying to run down on act. We got to murder all these niggas. That's what I want. Yep. But the idea that some of y'all trying to give Gucci an out is like, nah, it's because it's not like they fooled him and it was an undercover cop. That's what people keep saying. Undercover. No, he hired a policeman. Wasn't undercover. Wasn't a guy acting like he was security. No, he hired the cops. And a crime happened in the presence of the cops. So the cops did what the cops do. So as much as you want to call Pooh Shiesty stupid, I would question Gucci to say, why sign street niggas and then bring the cops every time you're talking to them? That don't sound like it works out, does it? If you sign a bunch of street niggas who you know how they get down, why would you bring them to every time you talk to them, the cops is there, unless you plan to make sure they don't ever commit crime, and if they do, they get locked the fuck up. So the idea that Gucci is not part of this and didn't tell is like, it's ludicrous. You can't spin it. So you can't spin it. I mean, it's better if y'all use this whole, he's a clone shit. Okay, fine, he's a clone, right? I want to remind y'all, the cop wasn't in the room, wasn't in the booth when Gucci was supposedly, I don't know if he was on his knees or whatever, when they were pointing a gun at him. He wasn't in the room when this other guy was in the execution, stance. Being honest. So, again, let me ask y'all a question, and I would like to ask hip-hop this. 85% of rappers in the B tier and the A tier hire off-duty cops. I'll tell you why. They want a guy who can bring their guns into everywhere. Yes. If you go to New York City and you're going to get a bodyguard, you better get an off-duty cop, because 99% of people don't have a legit license to have a weapon in New York City. It's a really restricted place. They only allow law enforcement, LEOs, and former law enforcement officers to have carry permits within city limits and to especially go and peruse around certain buildings. Why? They don't want a bunch of shootings. So if you feel like you got ops like that and niggas might, so you want niggas that's armed, first, you get the off-duty cop. The off-duty cop will hold it down. But now, here's the thing. When you get the off-duty cop and he's in the bulletproof truck with you, I know this as a fact, because I remember with 6ix9ine, and I could tell, like, was Shotty around? No, first of all, I always tell this story too. When the cops was escorting 6ix9ine to Complex Con, because we was there, Shotty said, Shotty's a criminal by nature. Shotty got 2 illegal guns on him and he's wanting to shoot somebody. Like, he's not gonna be like, oh, let me sit next to the fucking off-duty cop protecting 6ix9ine. He said, yes, I'll take my own car. So that's the point what I'm trying to say. 6ix9ine had actual law enforcement off-duty people with him that if, that's when he ran into the whole thing with Slim 400. And if anything happened, so he had regular security and off-duty cops. And if anything happened, you're gonna see. All right, the off-duty cops, they're like, they fell back because they're not on the front line with you. But 6ix9ine walked up to them. Oh, I think, yeah, this guy's straight up cop. Now, granted, they're not there to fucking be tough with 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine got them with them, and 6ix9ine is tough as hell. 6ix9ine is banging blood on Slim 400, telling niggas to suck his dick. Of course you can do that, nigga. The cops is right here. Nigga, the whole time Slim 400 and them, they were just like shouting back, and I'm like, snitching, this is how life goes, nigga. You're supposed to have the cops with you when you talk tough. You're not supposed to talk tough without the cops. What the fuck? Yeah. So yes, so look, this ain't a cop. This is a cop. They all came with 6ix9ine. Yo, so that's one of the things where like 6ix9ine gets a pop and shit and be like, yeah, nigga, yeah, I went to Long Beach, I ran the Slim 400. Yeah, if they had done anything, they would have got their face lifted by police. You know what I mean? Which are these are his actual security. So these are his security. These are the cops, and nigga, you see the badge? Look, and I think Slim 400 realized like this is the police. Like, you're gonna try to shoot 6ix9ine over the police shoulder? You know what I mean? They fell back. Yo, you gotta hear 6ix9ine shouting. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. His bodyguards is holding back, and the police is waiting for the shooting. Yo. 6ix9ine undefeated, bro. Yo, he had the biggest security guards in history, and he got the cops, and he got the killers. He had everything. Shit, the way he was moving, he might even have the judge with him. Fuck it. Yo, 6ix9ine had the whole municipality with him. 2 firemen, 8 cops, 3 lawyers, judge over there. Yo, you can't fuck with him. Come on, man. Look, even the cop probably been like, you sure we getting that rate from the label, right? Yeah. So make sure he doesn't go there.
Did you call security?
Anyway, the point what I'm saying is that I'm in full agreement. Hey, if Gucci hired the cop, Gucci encourages snitching. Fuck it. That's it. That's the end of my conversation. And every gangster rapper, you see how Boosie started this PC conversation and everybody started like, I want everybody to respond to this. If you a gangster rapper but you hire off-duty police and you rapping like if niggas run into you, they could get into gangster shit, ain't you telling by having the cops with you? That's what they said about 6ix9ine. That's why they keep saying 6ix9ine's the police. But Gucci came to the building with the police. Gucci comes with the police. If you catch Jay-Z, he might have the police with him. Shit, no disrespect to 50. They said 50 used to roll with them too. Like, yo, you're worth millions of dollars, man. Like, this street rule shit is for like, not actually live up to it.
Get the fuck out of LA, bro.
Yeah, so it fell back. You even see. I don't know if they have the full footage. They walked back. It's not even hidden because it was an escort too. They walked back to actual police cars. Actual police cars. It was actual police cars. Anyway, that's the point. But going back to this, it's important to know what was revealed in court.
New development tonight in the arrest of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. He and 8 others are charged with kidnapping rapper Gucci Mane. Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., and another Memphis rapper known as Big 30 appeared in federal court today. Action News 5's Caitlin Miller was in the courtroom in downtown Memphis. So Caitlin, fill us in. What happened today?
Yeah, Joyce, so they're actually still in there, but what I can tell you is that a special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took the stand, and defense attorneys for Lontrell Williams Sr.
Okay, wait. I'm running
the
back.
arrest of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. He and 8 others are charged with kidnapping rapper Gucci Mane. Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., and another Memphis rapper known as Big 30 appeared in federal court today. Action News 5's Caitlin Miller was in the courtroom in downtown Memphis. So Caitlin, fill us in. What happened today?
Yeah, Joyce, so they're actually still in there, but what I can tell you is that a special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took this...
Okay. I'll tell you why that's important. Okay? I'm gonna tell you why that's important. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like quickly they escalated it to that's a particular part of the FBI out of Dallas. So local police, it looked like they didn't have much, or they didn't want to just arrest these guys instantly, because they could arrest them instantly. That's what I keep telling you. Somehow this got to the feds, but it started with Dallas police.
Stand, and defense attorneys for Lontrell Williams and Rodney Wright Jr., also known as rapper Big 30, asked Hobbs a key question. Is there any hard evidence, like video surveillance, showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone? And Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested.
Okay, so Wright is Big 30. They didn't find anything that's incriminating, right? Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure they're going to check the phone, but none of the items, none of the watch. Let's go on. And he claimed that they were trying to get rid of, maybe not Big 30 in them, but like some of the other guys that was involved. They were trying to get rid of the ring, right? So they were trying to get rid of the ring, and they wanted, to. Okay. They were trying to get rid of the ring, and they wanted to also get rid of the chains and the watch. So who knows if they did get rid of them? But they're saying they found nothing on the search of these individuals.
There is still probable cause for both men. and all defendants who appear today based on cell phone data, outside surveillance video, and
okay, so cell phone data is what's the probable cause so far. Outside evidence,
victim statements
and victim statements. Now, here's the defense. If I'm Pooh Shiesty, yeah, we're not denying that we went to the studio. Yeah, we went to the studio. We're about to make music. We're about to make some music. We're about to like talk about some contracts and stuff. We got in a shouting match, but that's it, and we just left. Already, this is kind of looking in Shiesty's favor a bit because even though it's probable cause to match the story, it's not something, if I'm Pooh Shiesty, I would deny. Like, you're not going to deny GPS evidence that came from your ankle monitor. You're not going to deny, the cell phones triangulate you. You're not going to deny being at the studio. You're not even going to deny being at the studio with Gucci. What you're going to say is that we didn't hold him at gunpoint. We didn't force him against his will. We didn't threaten to kill him. There is hearsay, it's bullshit. And then they got to rely on these guys, which is the victims. They can't, the CW, who is the cop, he could help out with certain things, but the main thing got to come from the three guys in the room. Well, shit, this is hip hop. Remember, he's keeping it in the streets. Maybe these guys change their tune. Maybe they don't want to testify. Maybe they don't want to give a written affidavit. Maybe they end up publicly denying that they ever talked to the cops. Maybe there isn't matching, because usually you want an incident report. So even though they claim Gucci write on a piece of paper that they're going to add to the file with his signature. Is it on body cam? Does Gucci say it there? Is there maybe audio or video that exists of Gucci maybe elsewhere later on saying, that shit ain't happen? Is this all hearsay? Because everything they have concrete puts them at the spot, but this is the bank robbery, right? Where like a big part of your defense is, nigga, I didn't even go to the bank. Somebody accused of a bank robbery, a big part of your defense will probably be, I didn't even go to the bank. How could I rob the bank? Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing with this situation. Oh no, we did go to the studio. Yeah, we're just gonna make a song. We just didn't make it. We're watching football. Remember they said they were watching football and the thing? We were just watching football. We just left. We just left because he got called from his PO. We just left. Okay, how do you know he kidnapped him? So Gucci got to talk. How do you know he kidnapped him? That's the thing. How do you know he fucking kidnapped him? Now people are pointing out that it's not proof, but this is why they want to use lyrics against motherfuckers in court, because a motherfucker's modus operandi, usually kind of bears out if he's really like that with how he talks anyway. He tells you how he gonna give it up. And people point to Pooh Shiesty saying he been rapping that.
So, NBA YoungBoy has 12 kids and he has 2 more on the way. That's a lot, gang. YB, he's making his own team. You feel me? 12 kids, probably like 10 BMs, 11 BMs. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, Malu Trevejo said that she was pregnant at one point. Another girl said that she was pregnant. Like, YB is disciplining a baby and all these women, bro. And I will never forget the interview. He said that he doesn't really care about being a father. He just likes to, you feel me? Yeah. But let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Do you think NBA YoungBoy will pass 20 kids by the end of 2025? Or will he do it in 2026? Because we know he's about to have like 4 or 5 kids a year minimum. So we will see.
The NBA Finals are here, but the action doesn't stop when the confetti falls and the NBA crowns a champion because the star-studded scorching summer of sports, women's basketball, baseball are heating up, and we've got the world's largest soccer tournament on American soil and the first ever MMA fight on the White House lawn. Make your picks for all these events and more this summer on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. These playoffs have been electric. Victor Wembanyama has been out of his damn mind. More. Legacies are on the line of the 2026 NBA Finals. Get action on the biggest NBA games of the season and make your picks on everything. Points, rebounds, dunks, three-pointers, fantasy scores. Before the NBA champion is crowned, Prize Picks is a preferred partner of the NBA. Download the app today. Use code Shannon to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shannon to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Y'all know we're in that time of year. Mornings got a little chill to them, but by the afternoon, man, it's hot. It's like the weather switches up on you out of nowhere. And see, I love hot. I like my cars hot. I like my sneakers hot. My suits tailored, clean, hot. But let me tell you something. My underwear, nah, that's where I draw the line. That right there, gotta be cool. That's why I love Tommy John's cooling underwear. I'm talking about breathable, lightweight, moisture wicking. They keep you dry when the temperature starts to acting different. Because there's nothing worse than feeling fresh on the outside and then boom, now you're uncomfortable where it matters the most. Feel like you're sitting in a sauna, and I don't even have a gym membership. Tommy John is the solution to all of that with naturally breathable, stay cool fabrics that have up to 4 times more stretch than competing brands. They stop sweat before it happens. If you're still on the fence, let me help you with this. Your first purchase is covered by Tommy John's best pair guarantee. So if you're not vibing with them, Tommy John will make it right. Look, over 30 million pairs have been sold and counting. There are thousands of dudes out there cooler, comforter, and living their better life than you. Don't get
much close as we can in terms of assumptions and legit proof for facts. That's how we could realize that Fonnie Willis and them probably threw out the interrogation tape of Woody. I think they were realizing Woody was feeding them a little bit of bullshit and also, you know, kind of backpedaling or kind of double-dutching on cooperating. And one of the things they did was they threw out that tape because in every other situation, you protect that witness until they get on the stand. Now, granted, we couldn't find Woody for a while, but the interrogation videos clearly made it known that he would be the snitch. And in this particular case, as a Fed case, which is going to be a lot clearer than Fulton County, we don't know who the cooperants are. So they have mentioned a few of those things that they have witnesses and also cooperants, but we don't know who yet. So they're laying out what they're going to do, and in them laying it out, they have now identified that the music is going to be a part of it. So let's kind of read some of these last documents here. In support of dismissal. Here we go. Here we go. Bingo. All right, perfect. So this is what the government filed because there's another motion to. So this is a government response to the defendant's Dirk Banks' supplemental brief in support of his motion to exclude proposed evidence. So remember, they're going to be battling back and forth on what should be allowed in the trial. If we go back to other trials, you know, in the YSL trial, they had to figure out what songs could be played, how it could be played. In the Tory trial, could y'all mention the fact that he has a